Okay class. Boys and girls, please take your seats. Most of you remember me from last year. For any of you that don't, I'm Principal Laura Cummings. I have an important announcement to make and a very special guest to introduce to you. Let's show our guest what a well-behaved group of girls and boys we are by taking our seats and putting our listening caps on. Shall we, children? Can you now sit down and put on your listening caps? Boys and girls? What do we do when I hold up my hand? We put on our listening caps, don't we? That's right, Gina. Gina has her listening cap on, but the others don't seem to have theirs on. Boys? Girls? Does your listening cap fit your head well? I can tell that some of you have listening caps that don't seem to fit your heads too well this year. Did your listening cap shrink over the summer, Tommy? Maybe Tommy's head just became too big for his listening cap. That the problem, Tommy? Do you see Haruka sitting nicely with her listening cap on? See? It fits her just right. Unlike yours, Tommy. I don't even see your listening cap. Not even the tiniest shriveled up listening cap. Tommy, sit down now before I come over there and give you a new listening cap that you're never gonna forget. Now. No. I don't want to hear it. Sit down and button your lips, mister, or we're gonna have a big problem soon. Do you remember our big problem from last year? Don't answer that, just sit there. Not a word. Do you hear me? Okay class, I know many of you are very excited to be back at Cheney Elementary School from your summer vacation. Did you have a good summer vacation? Mrs. Cummings did. Mr. Cummings and I took a lovely trip to the south of France. But before I get off track this morning, I want to introduce to you a very important man who will be one of your teachers this year. As some of you may have read in the newspaper, this year begins our first mandatory compliance to secure funding from the federal government in digital economic pathways. Tommy, what are you doing back there? Do you know about mandatory compliance, Tommy? I'd suggest you consider that term while you shut your pie hole. Anyway, as I was saying, girls and boys, in order to qualify for top-tier achievement funding through Race to the Top, class, listen. This is about academic achievement. You know what that is, children? It's tests. Straight up. Test scores are pathways to higher success achievement. Tommy, look at you. You have no idea what I'm saying to you. Do you? You kids are not in kindergarten anymore. This is 4th grade. Crappy test results now could negatively impact you for the rest of your lives. You don't want that, do you? Okay. Mrs. Cummings got off the track again. Where all this is leading to is that the man who we've brought into Cheney Elementary School to help you achieve your academic and economic. Anyway, class, students, this is Gerry Shillencamp. Mr. Shillencamp will be instructing you in your new mandated subject matter, elements of computer software code generation. You don't know what that means, children? Well, that would seem to be all the more reason to pay close attention to what Mr. Shillencamp has to say. Boys? Girls? Let's give it up for Mr. Gerry Shillencamp. Mr. Shillencamp? Are you okay with this? You have everything you need now? Excellent. I've got to run now, but if you need me for anything at all, I'll be in the teacher's lounge.
Thank you, Principal Cummings. And a very good morning to you, students. I'll be one of your new teachers this year. My name is Gerry Shillencamp, but you can call me Mr. Shillencamp. Children? Children. Can you hear me? Let's pipe down now, shall we? I'm gonna count down from 5 now. And when I get to 0, I'm gonna become exceedingly angry. Really quite emotional, I can assure you. This calm and confident tone that I've brought from my native upper-class British background will entirely disappear, and you'll find the experience of me in this much darker, and frankly reddish hue, to be troubling at best. Many of you will become quite scared. Okay. Now for the counting. 5, 4, 3, 2.5, 2, 1. This morning I just want to give a brief introduction of myself as well as the coursework that we will be pursuing in 4th grade computational code generation techniques class at Cheney Elementary School. First off, as I say, my name is Gerry Shillencamp, Mr. Shillencamp to you, and I've been extremely involved in the computer industry for many years now. Before that I was the chief lobbyist with Arthur Andersen Accounting, and before that I sold digital to analog converters at Texas Instruments. Young man? Are you familiar with digital to analog converters? Do any of you have any guess about what it is that we will be learning together this year? Oh. Of course. That's right. How could I be so foolish? You children sitting before me here in 4th grade at Cheney Elementary are what we in the business like to refer to as digital natives. Yes, do you know about digital natives? Well, to be digitally native, as you all are here, you see, this term implies that rather than migrating to digital platforms, as one might say about me, you children were born into this. Analog? My god, man. What on God's green earth is analog anymore? I'll tell you what. Nothing is. Absolutely nothing remains analog in this small world. And you kids, you are a part of it. It still blows my mind sometimes. Soon we will all be digital natives. And children? Do you know what that implies? Anyone? Anyone at all? The question is, what is the implication of all of us migrating to one big digitally generated platform?
Mr. Shillencamp?
Yes.
Is it something like the singularity? Is this what you are referring to, Mr. Shillencamp? The singularity.
What's your name?
My name is Haruka Kawauchi. I come from Japan. My English is not so very good. I study very diligently.
Your name is Haruka? Haruka. That's exactly right. The singularity awaits every one of us. Isn't that right? Of course it is. But before we go down that road too far, let's back up to the present. All right? Are you all back in the present with me? Okay. Well, on this, our first day of class, it might be a good idea to break it down a little. That is, what is digital, and what does it mean to us? Are you with me? Okay. I'll not beat around the bush here, class. I realize that you are 4th grade students. What age does that make you? 10? 11? And while some of you, like Haruka here, are perhaps a little more advanced in the theories put forth by visionaries such as Gene Roddenberry, Robert Kurzweil, or even Philip K. Dick, nonetheless, I want to begin where it all begins for digital cybernetic systems, or, if it's easier to understand for you less advanced students like Tommy, we are talking here about robots. Does anybody in this class like robots? Well, I thought some of you might have a liking of robots. Suffice to say that robots are not getting any worse. In fact, as many of you children may be aware, the robots of today, right here and right now, on this planet Earth. Well, the state of robot technology is simply marvelous. You may want to even write that in your notebooks. Marvelous robots. Right here, right now. Tommy? Yes, you. How would you like to have your very own robot that you could ride around with, maybe even have interesting conversations with? What if your robot could even utilize nanotechnology to instantly produce any material you might desire? You'd like that, wouldn't you? Well, pay attention to what I'm about to tell you, and you will be one step closer to your chosen reality. Otherwise, Tommy, I'm afraid your chosen reality is going to result in you paying a visit to Principal Cummings. Do you want that? Principal Cummings is in the teacher's lounge, and I can assure you that she would not look kindly on your chosen reality. Am I being clear enough for you to grok this, Tommy? I'm glad to know that. I think we have an understanding, don't we, Tommy?